What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3. So this whole time I've been saying Season 2 has been Season 3. So I got to go back to my YouTube channel and change all those Power reviews that I did to Season 3. I didn't even realize it. So, yeah. So it's Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3. Episode 5. That's what I'm about to review. So if you haven't seen the 5th episode of Season 3 of Power Book 2 Ghost, turn this video off. Go watch the episode and then come back and watch this video. Yeah, anything I say is my opinions, my expressions. It's how I feel. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Yeah, and I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to like stutter, pause. I will say hella uhs, like you know. And I'll be looking at my notes over here, making sure I'm on point with what I'm talking about. Got my handy dandy water bottle, of course, because my mouth gets dry from all this talking, you know. I made sure this joint was unthawed this time. I'm prepared today. I'm upset, though, because I've been saying Season 2 this whole time. That's probably why ain't nobody been watching. They probably like, this bitch reviewing the old season. But yeah, I'm going to go back and change them, and then I'm going to put them on my social medias to let everybody know that I was putting the wrong season. But yeah, last chance, if you haven't seen the 5th episode of Season 3 of Power Book 2 Ghost, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. And I like to grade my videos. I like to grade the episodes before and after my videos. And I'm going to grade this episode of Power. What happened on this episode? I'm going to give it an A- because, I mean, the thing about Power is they give us the surprises beforehand. So when characters find out stuff, it's not really a surprise for us because we already knew. I mean, of course, we geeking for that particular person to find out, but it's just like... So this episode, I give it an A-. I mean, they gave us some stuff, like some surprise, but it's like we already knew because we're watching the show. So, but anyway, yeah, A-. All right, so we get this first scene. Let's get into it. Last chance, about to be a spoiler alert. Turn this off if you haven't seen the 5th episode. Okay. I don't want to wear my mouth while I'm smoking because I'm definitely about to smoke. Just woke up, you know. Gotta have that good wake and bake. Even though I do not think smoking be helping me with these reviews. No, but I feel like the smoking do help me with my reviews. Like, because before, when I first started doing these reviews, I didn't used to smoke during them. Because I used to just do them at any time. But now I do them when I first wake up. And I always got to wake and bake when I wake up. So, but when I first did my first review smoking, I watched it back and I was like, dang, like, I was talking good, like making some good points, all that. Because I be going back to see what I missed and if I messed up, said somebody's name wrong, something like that, whatever. So I always go back. But when I watched that first review of me smoking, I was like, okay, I think I kind of did okay. So ever since then, I've been just like smoking. Sometimes I don't, though. Sometimes it'd be a time where I've already done smoking. I'd be doing my reviews with like a cup of coffee or just nothing but my water bottle. But lately, I've been doing them when I wake up. I've been like reviewing them the night before, watching them, writing my notes, and then the next morning I wake up reviewing them. I would like to do them like right after I watch the show. That way my brain can be fresh. Because I don't watch them twice, 3 times like some people do that review shows and stuff. But my, I don't know what it is. When I do them at night, my pictures be looking wild. So I just feel like during the day when the sun is beaming, that's when it's best. Or maybe I should use my little ring light thing that one of my exes got me. I don't know. But, anyway, let's get into it. I get to rambling. Oh, man, it's done a lit uneven already. I can't stand it. Anyway, okay, first scene. We still at the Tejada's house. The police still in there and stuff after Whitman's death, trying to investigate, get evidence, all that. But now Jenny's, Blanca, and Sax is there, so the whole little sneaky team there. So, you know, Jenny, she questioning Monet, and she was like, what do you think Whitman wanted? You know, Monet, she's like, I don't know, the nigga been, he done had it out for me since he found out Zeke was sleeping with Carrie, and he been harassing me and stalking me and this, that, and third. And Davis chimed in and was like, which is all in the harassment claim, so I don't know why you asking her this. You know, David, he in lawyer mode. He like, why you asking my client all these questions that you already know type stuff. So Monet, you know, she just playing it up like she's supposed to. She's like, I was in fear for my life, and I I didn't know what he was going to do to my daughter, this, that, and the third. And then he'll go Davis again. My client has the right to defend her family in the state of New York. What else do you want? I was like, I know that's right. Like, Davis might be a shady lawyer, but he going to make sure his clients don't get bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. He going to make sure that don't happen. But that's as long as the money rolling in. Because you know Davis don't care about nothing else but that money, okay? He just want to make sure that money coming in. Where am I? So he's like, are you done? Like, are you done questioning my client? So Jenny get this one more question. She was like, so how did you get your gun when Whitman charged at you? Like, how did you grab for your gun when Whitman charged at you? So that's when Lorenzo stepped in. Why are you treating my wife like she's the suspect? She's the victim here. Like, she was defending my family against somebody, against your little dog that you was supposed to keep on the leash, basically. Telling Jenny this. Which is low-key true. I mean, Whitman was supposed to stay away, but at the same time, like, Diana came to him. And he thought he could trust her. So Monet tells Jenny that she heard Diana scream, so before she even confronted Whitman, she grabbed her gun. And she was like, good thing I did, because he came at me or whatever. It was self-defense. Like, so that's what she's saying. And then Davis was like, and before you start, her gun is registered. And here go Jenny. Oh, we checked that. That was like the first thing we checked. I was like, look at they geeking asses. That was the first thing y'all checked, huh? So then we remind you last episode, Davis was like, I'm going to call Sachs to defend Diana. Make sure y'all story's right, whatever. So Sachs is there. He's defending Diana. He's telling Blanca's interrogating Diana. And Sachs is telling Diana, yeah, her story lines up with her mother's. And you know, Blanca, she's still on the fence about Sachs. So she like, does it really line up? Or is like, is you just saying this to like keep your good graces with Davis? Like, she don't trust Sachs. So she don't know for real. Did Diana's story line up? She don't know. But she makes a face like, I don't know. I don't buy it. I mean, of course, they don't. None of them buy it. Sachs, Jenny, Blanca. But in that moment, you know, Blanca, she's still not fucking with Sachs. So she just like, I don't buy it, and I don't like the fact that Sachs got to defend her because I don't trust him, you know. Where am I? Where am I? All right, so they all leave, Jenny and them. I'm assuming Sachs, too, even though Sachs was working with Davis. But, you know, he low-key with Jenny and Blanca and them. But I'm assuming all of them left because after they leave, Davis was like, yeah, everything should be back to normal by next week. Like, they know that it's a solid self-defense case. Like, ain't nothing they can do. Everything should be back to normal. And they was like, yeah, it needs to because I'm tired of my house looking all hot with these feds coming in and out of it. Davis was like, well, you made it hot. You shot a cop. Even though he was suspended, he still was a cop. Like, you made it hot. You made yourself hot. He was like, you better move carefully these next couple of months because they gonna be. You never know who gonna be watching your ass. Because you know don't nobody. Because if Monet's smart, she should know don't nobody buy the shit. I don't care how solid the self-defense case look. Like, you are Monet Tejada. And like Davis told you, if you did something to him, you'd be suspect number one. Now, no matter what that you did, no matter if it's self-defense or not, somebody with a hard on for your ass, somebody just as, like, with a hard on just as hard as Whitman was, they gonna come for your ass. So he tell her, like, be careful. You never know who's gonna be watching you. Then he tell her, he was like, talk to your whole family, make sure the alibis are straight just in case we got to take this to court. This, that, and the third. And Monet was like, look, I got rid of them files that we stole from Whitman's place because I ain't even want that, have that shit around me. She's like, I'm trying to put all this behind me, this, that, and the third. So Davis was like, that's pretty smart. Davis says that's pretty smart, but we gonna get into it. Because in that moment, I was like, I ain't think nothing of it when he was like, yeah, that was smart. I was like, yeah, that was a smart idea. Get rid of them fucking files because you just killed him. And to find his fucking files that ain't supposed to be on you, that would be even worse. So, of course, that's smart, Monet, to get rid of them, whatever. So, Davis tries to, like, ask about Lorenzo. And Monet was like, oh, nah, don't worry about it. Like, I was jumping to conclusions. Because, you know, at this point when, this is the second time that Monet has told Davis, oh, don't worry about it, it's been handled. And that person has gotten, like, either killed or got handled, basically. Because, like, she told Davis, oh, don't worry about the Zeke killer situation. I got it handled. Because she thought she killed Zeke's killer. As we see in this episode, it wasn't Zeke's killer. But she thought she killed Zeke's killer, so she told Davis, oh, we good. Don't worry about don't worry about Zeke's killer anymore. This, that, and the third. So now she telling Davis, oh, don't worry about Lorenzo. I was jumping to conclusions. This, that, and the third. So that already had my antennas like, like she don't want Davis. So I was like, oh, she about to try to handle this on her own, just like she did with the Zeke situation. So she said, don't worry about it. We all good. So then we get a classroom scene. This classroom scene was super shorter than the usual ones. It didn't really give us much, but they talked about, first of all, Tate is there. So the professor is like, I'm pretty sure you all know who Councilman Tate is. And you know, light-skinned Keisha, she interning for him, so she's sucking his dick hard. She like, oh, don't you mean future Congressman Tate? And Tate was like, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. And I was like, girl, he's sucking the shit out of his dick. Like, chill out. You're just an intern. I don't even think you're getting paid to like work with him. You're just getting like like some good credits or something like that. But either way, I guess she gassing them up for them credits. And mind you, I think the professor and Tate are kind of like seeing each other now. So she was like, yeah, Tate's here to help us with our topic of the day, which is America, the land of rebirth, redemption, and reinvention. So Tate get to telling a story about the European settlers came here to America for political and religious reasons, like for freedom, this, that, and third, political and religious reasons. Freedom. Light-skinned Keisha bust saying, she like, but you know, those European settlers, they came and took our land from, they took the land from our indigenous people. You know, Christopher Columbus, that whole story, you know. So she was like, she says reinvention is a privilege that was offered based on who you are and the color of your skin. So, you know, light-skinned Keisha, she does bring up race a lot, but it's like, you have to, like, it's about race. And that's what makes people uncomfortable, but that's what you got to talk about it. Like, most of this stuff, it does involve race. It does involve race. And I don't care who makes it uncomfortable. Like, she don't care who makes it uncomfortable. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable. Topics like this got to be uncomfortable. That's how you get to the solution to the root of stuff. But of course, one student, he chimes in. He's white, by the way. I think his name is Jackie. He might be Asian or something. But he chimes in and like, must everything be about race? This, that, and third, skin color. He was like, he can't help that his family. He said, must everything be about race? He was like, my parents came here from, and somebody was like, don't say it. He was like, on the Mayflower. Everybody was like, oh, he said it. He's like, my parents came here on the Mayflower from Europe to create a better life for themselves. And he was like, why do you think America has the highest immigration rate? All this other stuff. Ain't nobody really trying to hear. So Effie, she busted. She was like, America the idea and America the idea and America the reality are like two different things. Like, basically, you think when you from a different country, you think America's gonna be one way, but then you get here and it's totally different from what you thought, type stuff. I can't really chime in on that because I'm full blood American, baby. And I ain't saying that to be proud, child, because America's just some wild shit. So she says inequality. Effie says the inequality is the foundation of America, not redemption. And I agree with that. So then Diana chimes in. She's like, look at our prison system. Like, they says the incarcerated are told that they're gonna get a second chance, they're gonna get a do-over after they do their time, but then we stigmatize them and take away their voting rights, so now they can't get housing, they can't get employment, things like that. She's like, what kind of second chance is that? So here goes some student. I think it was Jackie. He got a lot to say this episode. I guess they giving him more speaking role, whatever. So he get the sounds personal. So I'm like, why they keep fucking with Diana? Like, Diana ain't bothered nobody. Like, Zeke was her cousin. You would think that people would fuck with her more, but I don't know. But he get the sounds personal. So she get the maybe it is. Maybe it is. Is that a problem, Jackie? I should have brought my scissors over here because I need to cut this J. It's starting to bleed. Y'all about to see me get up for the first time in one of my videos because I ain't trying to stop it. Grab my scissors. Anyway, so she was like, and what if it is personal? Is that a problem, Jackie? That's how I found out his name was Jackie, because she was like, Jackie. Where am I? Let me see. So then Salim chimes in, who is the teacher's assistant, Salim, the one that's seeing Diana. So he low-key tries to defend his boo, but he also says, like, you know, that's the stigma that Diana's talking about right there, by him saying sounds personal. So he was like, that's the stigma that she's talking about right there. So light-skinned Keisha gets to talking about, Black Americans are incarcerated 5 times more than Americans. I mean, then whites, I meant to say. Then whites, and she says that you can't like what I was just saying, you can't have conversations about what she say, equity or redemption without talking about race. You can't most of these serious topics and political topics and things like that, you got to talk about race. And I don't care how ugly it sounds and how much you don't want to talk about it. It has to be talked about. And even in this moment, Braden's sister Ashley, she chimed in. She agrees with what light-skinned Keisha's saying. She was like, look at what happened to my brother last year. She was like, if my brother wasn't black, I mean, if my brother was black, he wouldn't have been just he wouldn't have just got sent to Wall Street and been still living his life. He would have never had a chance of redemption if he was black, basically. Said he would have been locked up with no chance of redemption. So here go Jackie again. You talking about the what do you say? You talking about the decisions people make, not the chances they're given. So I'm just like, oh Lord, here we go. So Tariq, he says, he's like, if choices are so innately American, then why we can't all get second chances? No, he said if second chances are so innately American, then don't they all deserve a second chance despite their decisions, basically. That's what he says. And I mean, it's true. Second chances, you do deserve them. And certain people get more second chances than others because of their privilege, because of their race, things like that. So yeah, this topic, I mean, I love the topics they be talking about on this job. I don't even think they like mean anything. I don't even think they like correlate with the show. Sometimes Tariq be in class and something to hit him in class and that'll make him decide to do it, like involving his drug game or whatever. But then Tariq gets a text message from Monet, and it says to find out where the dude named that supposedly killed Zeke was named International Guap, and he was a member of the GTG gang. So and he was the dude that beat up Drew, because when he came home from jail, his whole crew was dead. Who killed the GTG? Wasn't it the Tejadas, Kane and them? I think so. But either way, so Monet killed him because Lorenzo planted Zeke's chain on him, and they found Drew's chain on him because he did beat up Drew. So Monet killed him thinking he killed Zeke. But now that Monet done found this police file from Whitman with Lorenzo's fingerprint on it and shit, now he got her suspicious, of course. So she texts Tariq. She's like, yeah, find out where International Guap was at the night that Zeke died. Then class ends and Tariq, he go up to he goes up to Tate. At first I was like, why are you going to Tate? Like, I mean, but I do remember, like, Tate did tell him, like, Blanca and them, they investigating you, dealing with Mecca, all that stuff. So I'm thinking they about to talk about that somewhat. So he approached Tate like, yeah, I got some useful information for you. And at this moment, I'm like, where's the professor? The professor just left. Like, they just let them two standing there and talk. I was like, that didn't look suspicious to nobody. But anyway, so Tariq telling Tate, yeah, I got some useful information for you. And what do you say? And you know, Tate, he trying to, and what might that be, young brother? I love Tate's character. Like, I know he's shady politician and all that, do the little blackmailing and all that, but his character is so funny to me. Like, the way he could just jump in and out of, like, the political and, like, straight narrow side and then jump right into hood shit. Like, I fucks with that. I fucks with that. So you're like, and what might that be, young brother? So Tariq, he was like, I got some information that your Fed friends might like. So Tate was like, you know, I'm listening. What's up? So Tariq was like, you know, the streets saying that that IG, International Guap, that IG killed Zeke as retaliation for the GTG members getting killed. He was like, but IG dead now. He tells Tate this. So Tate was like, oh, so the streets saying this, huh? And Tariq was like, yeah, I mean, wrapping up the murder investigation of New York's top NBA Brown college student. You know, that would be exactly what they need right now for some good press. So Tate was like, yeah, I appreciate this information, and I will surely pass it along, young brother. Tate just so funny to me. Tariq leave, Tate immediately texts Jenny. It was like, I got something for you. Did he say let's meet up? I don't remember. I think he was just like, I got something for you. Hey, why didn't I separate this scene? I'm glad I noticed it, but so now we got this scene where we have Weston Holdings. It's Lucas, Kiki, Braden, Tariq, and RSJ. I think it's one more person in the room too. I can't remember, but they don't say anything. So they basically telling RSJ that about the Italian tech company that Lucas was telling RSJ about previously when he was trying to get him to come to Western Holdings. Telling them like Kiki's basically like built this rapport with them, and like they first in line to invest with them, so they're like that's why they trying to jump on this and the third. And then Lucas, he tells RSJ like, you know, I just want to give you the opportunity to see the company, meet the players, and things like that before we like what do you say? Consummate this. That's what he said, consummate, like before we actually go into business type shit. Before they seal the deal. So he was like, Lucas will be, I mean, he tells Braden like Lucas tells RSJ Braden gonna be with me to assist, basically. Kiki was like, thank you so much, RSJ, for letting us use your plane. And RSJ was like, you know, that's what it's there for. So Kiki started to tell RSJ, Braden and Tariq got some information on, they pulled some research together on the Italian tech company. And Tariq was like, yeah, I translated some of their statements and local assessments of management. And he was like, it all matches what Kiki said, like in 2 years, this company gonna blow up, this, that, and the third. Because Kiki was saying some stuff like that before she was saying like she built a rapport with them, whatever. So RSJ was like, I'm interested to see what I can do with them like face to face. So he was like, Tariq, you gonna be there to translate, right? So he go, just don't keep bleeding. My mouth not even wet. That's why I try not to drink the water while I'm smoking. Like, damn, don't keep bleeding. It's annoying. But yeah, he was like, it matches what Kiki said. This tech company gonna blow, like in 2 years, it's gonna be blow up. And RSJ like, I'm excited to see what they gonna say if I meet him face to face. He's like, Tariq, you gonna come to translate? So, you know, Lucas jumps in. He's like, Tariq's a little junior for this type of trip. Because the trip is in Italy, so it's like, it's lit. They're going to meet these Italians in Italy. In Milan. So, you know, Lucas, like, Tariq's a little too junior for this trip. So RSJ was like, oh, but he's not too junior to, like, to get my business. He's like, unless there's some other qualifications on why your only black intern is in meetings with me. Where am I? He was like, yeah, unless there's some other qualifications to why your black intern is the only black interns in meetings with me and not the Italians. So, you know, Lucas, he trying to like soften up a little. He's like, oh, well, you know, Tariq may be an intern, but we hope he has a bright future here. This, that, the third, try like side with RSJ now all of a sudden. So RSJ was like, well, I guess you won't mind if like he comes along on the trip. Now he's like, y'all be on mind that I personally invite Tariq on the trip. He's like, especially since he's the only one that speak Italian, so it makes sense. You ain't got to hire no damn translator. Or you don't got to get one there where they could tell their translator to say whatever they want them to say. You don't know what they're saying for real. Where am I? Yeah, damn, where am I? So Lucas was like, oh, he was like, no objections whatsoever. So now it's not a problem. He don't want no problems with RSJ. I don't even think RSJ like signed with them yet. It's probably like a test run. Like he said, like they haven't consummated it yet. So he's like, yeah, I see no. He's like, no objections whatsoever. So Tariq was like, oh, I did have plans with my girlfriend. So, you know, Kiki like, I'm sure she'll understand. Like, try to tell Tariq, like, bitch, like, nigga, fuck that. She don't understand. But the whole time, Tariq's ploy was, like, to get Effie to come. So he was like, you know, I got to date my girlfriend. Kiki was like, oh, I'm sure she'll understand. For sure. So he was like, well, she's actually, she's an engineering major specializing in robotics and this, that, and the third. So RSJ was like, well, yeah, you ain't gotta sell me. He's like, you want to invite a plus one? Sure, she's welcome to come along. RSJ was like, you ain't gotta bait me in. He already know. So then this part I thought was wild. RSJ tells Lucas, he like, what'd he say? He basically tells Lucas like, yeah, I think I'm gonna handle the Italians on this one, like on my own type shit. So Lucas get to what they're expecting to see me. So RJ was like, well, I find that in fact finding missions like these, sometimes the best approach is to disrupt the interruptions. I mean, disrupt expectations to letting them feel like they have it all wrapped up. He was like, just trust me. He was like, it'll push. He was like, I'll push the I'll push the negotiations further in their favor, in RSJ and Lucas in their favor. So Lucas low-key irritated, but you know he's still trying to like. I knew the cough. I knew that cough was coming. I was trying to stop it, but. So Lucas, he's still trying to like appease to RSJ. So he like, I knew this would be a good fit. Whole time he probably beaming inside, like burning inside, heated. He's like, I'm learning so much already. But I think in this moment, I thought that was wild that he told Lucas like, you don't need to come. Like that was like Lucas is the one that got this whole. Well, Kiki seems like she was the one that got it, but. Kiki works for Lucas, so I thought it was wild that he told Lucas, like, we don't need you there. But when we see how that meeting plays out, we see exactly why Lucas wasn't there. He was like, yeah, we don't need you there. He was like, I got it. I found in these situations, let's press them to see. Let's throw them off. They were expecting Lucas. They not going to be expecting RSJ. Let's throw them off. Plus, RSJ had his own agenda. And so did Tariq, maybe. So then this damn scene, which I thought was so stupid because this last episode, we had this meeting with Davis, Monet, and Tariq in Davis's office, and Davis told them that they had to stay away from each other for a little while because Whitman was like snooping around. So I'm like, and Sax took a picture. So at this moment, I'm like, what the fuck? So we get this scene with Tariq and Monet. They meet up. And I'm just like, how long has it been since that meeting where Davis told y'all not to see each other? I'm just like, what is wrong with them? Like, but I'm just like, Tariq's still a child at the end of the day. And Monet just thinks she's so smart. I'm just like, why? Why y'all have to meet up? Why y'all just couldn't get burner phones, call each other, tell each other what was up, throw the burner phones away after that? I don't know. But this meetup, I feel like, was unnecessary. So they meet up, and Tariq was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess. Tariq was like, oh, yeah, I ain't seen you. Last time I seen you, Whitman was alive. So I guess it's been, I don't know how long it's been. It's annoying, though. But still, y'all shouldn't be meeting up. Especially after she just killed Whitman. I don't care if the self-defense story stuck or not. It's still, like, no. So Tariq get down later. Last time I seen you, Whitman was still alive. One day was like, yeah, he ain't gonna be a problem no more. He's like, everything he did was off the clock, so it died with him. This, that, and the third. So Tariq was like, what about 12? I'm sure they're looking more into you now. He's like, you sure you wasn't followed? So I'm just like, well, you know this, Tariq. What are you doing? What are you doing? Y'all both dumb right now. I was just like, y'all both dumb right now. She's like, I'm good. You know, I'm good. He's like, I'm just making sure. I'm just like, make sure all you want. Like, y'all getting watched anyway. Like, retarded. Just meeting up. Like, it's so dumb. But, so Tariq tells Monet, because mind you, when Monet was torturing IG before she killed him, he was telling her, like, I couldn't have killed Zeke. I was out of the country in the Dominican Republic and all that. So Tariq telling Monet the same thing. Like, IG he didn't lie. He was actually in the Dominican Republic when Zeke died, so it couldn't have been him. Monet was like, you sure? Like, you sure? And Tariq was like, my source don't get no reliable than who my source is. He's like, don't get no reliable than my source. Because where did he get that info? He got that info from Tate, right? I think. Yeah, I think he got the info from Tate. And that's solid info, shit. Because he went to Tate on info about RSJ, so Tate gets some valuable information. So immediately after that, Monet pulls up on Kane. I don't know where he's at. He hops in her car. So she already off bucks. He like, what's up, Mom? What you pulling up? Who told you that IG killed Zeke? So Kane was like, first it's like a brief little silence, pause. So Kane was like, remember I told y'all, if I say pause on my videos, it means like an actual brief silence. Because I know niggas say pause when they mean like no homo. If I mean no homo, I'm just going to say no homo. But, so it's like a brief little pause. And then Kane tells Monet, oh, Lorenzo told me this. He was like, Pop told me that. So Monet was like, what proof did your father have that IG did it? What proof did he have? So Kane was like, well, he said whoever attacked Drew must have killed Zeke. No, he said whoever attacked Drew had to be the one that killed Zeke. So Monet was like, you just believed him, huh? You just believed him? So Kane was like, you acting like this some random nigga that just told me this. Like, this is my father. Like, this Pops. Why would I have a reason to not believe him? And Kane was like, and it makes sense. Like, they wanted to get back. We had a target on our backs from killing all the guaps. So Monet was like, well, you right. But you know, Monet, she's still in her head. She don't believe it. She like, it's all leading back to Lorenzo. So she ain't buying it. But you know, Kane her son, and that's his father. So she ain't really trying to say too much. So she like, yeah, you right. But in her head, she like, hell nah. So then we get this little scene right before they board the plane. It's like little scenes before they board the plane. And Tariq, he thanking RSJ for bringing him along. Effie's in the background. And RSJ was like, yeah, I just get the feeling that you're not Lucas's favorite interns. And one of Lucas's favorite interns. They chuckle. Tariq's like, Well, let's just say, like, he's still evaluating me based on my past. RJ was like, well, shit, if I was judged by my past, I wouldn't trust me neither. Like, if I was judged by my past at 19, I wouldn't judge me neither. I mean, I wouldn't trust me neither. Tariq was like, damn, loyalty is a real thing, huh? Like, nigga, yes. Yes. You know this. Or maybe he was just trying to play clueless for RSJ. I don't know. RSJ was like, yes, indeed. Listen, yes, it is. Man, every time I smoke my throat, like, I always got to keep clearing it. So quickly, Tariq was like, RJ, I want to run something by you that my girlfriend's robotics professor was telling me about, that he mentioned it might be useful to you. So RJ was like, yeah, we'll talk about it when we get in the plane. So at that moment, I was like, did Tariq talk to Effie's robotics professor, whatever the hell? I was like, nah, because I feel like they would have showed that scene. That would have been something important. So I was like, where he get this info from? So then Effie, she run up behind them all cheesing. She's like, she about to go to Italy. It's lit. Tariq cheesing too. Like, you ready? She's like, yes. I'm like, that's lit. Shit, they about to go to Italy? Free of charge? Shit. So Brayden and Kiki, they a little ways behind Tariq and Effie. They all at the little hangar. So Brayden like, yeah, you better get ready to party. You about to get ready to party. You know, Brayden's true white boy at heart. You about to get ready to party. So Kiki was like, this trip is about business, not partying. Brayden was like, that's fine. It don't even matter because, the party, I don't have to find no party. The party always finds me, baby. I was just like, oh my God. He's just like a super white boy. He's super white boy, but gotta love Brayden. He's just a scary white boy, man. He's good for the show. So as he says, it's like, yes, if our party's gonna find me, woo. Puts his headphones on, he walking away. He didn't realize he dropped his phone. Or maybe one of his phones. Was it the trap phone? Trap phone jumping. Oh my God. So Kiki picks up his phone. So I was like, oh shit. So Effie and Tariq, they take a little couple selfies. I was like, look at Effie. She looked like a totally different person. Like, she went and got the face beat. Got the fresh braids in for this trip to Italy. That's why I be like, how long do the days be going into each other? Like, how long did they have to plan for this trip to Italy? Because Effie looked like she went and got a whole face beat, lashes done, hair did for the trip and everything. So Tariq was like, you look so happy. And she was like, I am. Cheesing like shit, cheesing. She started to board the plane. Tariq right behind her. I think Brayden was already on there. And Brayden's phone starts going off, but mind you, Kiki has it. So Kiki looking at it. So I'm like, oh, shit. Here we go. So they on the way to Milan, okay? So now we got this same Jenny, Blanca, and Sax. No more Whitman on the team. But Whitman wasn't fucking with them no more anyway. Because they wasn't focused on Monet. So now in this moment, they soaking, drinking. Jenny was like, Monet's fucking self-defense story is bullshit. So they not buying it or whatever. Blanca was like, yeah, I agree. Like, but Whitman might have been unhinged, but he wasn't no criminal. He was like, man, she was like, this is on us. Like, we should have listened to him. Sax said something about, I ain't really understand what I don't be understanding the police and all that. He was like, lots of white hats go criminal when their boats are rocked by big whales. So some metaphor he says, and Blanca was like, that sounds like some bullshit that your corrupt ass will come up with. I was like, oh wow. So Jenny gets to saying like, Monet killed Whitney because he had something on her. He had to have something. She was like, he had to have something good, but now it's gone. She was like, but now it's gone. So now I'm like, okay, Blanca is DEA, because when they be having these meetings about Monet and, well, not really Monet, but like Tariq and the drugs and situations and stuff, and Davis, the stuff that be going on with the Tejadas and they business that don't even really be involved in Tariq will kind of do it. But like the stuff with the Castillos and stuff, I be wondering like how that even be coming to them. It be coming to them through Blanca. Like Blanca always bring up stuff that be random, but it be on point. It be right on point. Like she brought up the fact that Gordo was meeting up with the Rednecks and the Tejadas might be there or something. And Jenny and Sax probably, no, Jenny and Whitman was like, you think really the Tejadas? I don't think so. So now in this moment, Blanca says, she says that, what she says? She said, so the Brooklyns, the Russian Brooklyns connected, it got killed, and that was that led the Tejadas to step in and serve and like be they plug. So she was like, she thinks the Tejadas killed their plug or whatever. So Jenny was like, so the Tejadas killed the Castillos because the Castillos and the Russians got the same plug. So Jenny was like, oh, so they killed the see, they killed the Castillos connect so they could be the connect. So you know, Sassy like that's a strong leap. But all these stuff that they keep saying is a leap and stuff actually is the truth. Like actually is truth. Like when Blanca brought up the redneck situation with the guns. It was a reach, Jenny said, but that was actually truth. So all the stuff that Blanca be bringing up, it be actually truth. But you know, Sassy like that's a reach. He says that's a leap or something like that. Blanca was like, not really, because we've seen Costello's cars and stuff parked outside of Mecca's Mecca's penthouse since after Mecca died, and we know, like, it's record that his penthouse was left to Monet because Zeke died, and Zeke was his son, and he left it to Zeke, but Zeke died and had no will. Yeah, so it's public record that it's Monet's penthouse. And if you watch long enough, you'll realize that she's not staying there, but it's Drew and Kane. So she's telling them this, and Sack's like, yeah, that's still a reach, though. Still a reach. Even if the Castillo's cars be outside the jump. So Jenny was like, the real question is, like, who's supplying Tariq and Monet with the drugs? And I was like, oh, now it's Tariq and Monet. First it was just Tariq. But now that Whitman's gone, you wanna add Monet on into it. So Jenny gets to Davis must know Sax. Like, you got to figure out something. So Sax was like, he ain't been letting nothing slip. Like, he still don't trust Sax, of course. He just wants Sax to focus on his brother's case. So Jenny's just like, just give me something strong on on Davis that I can use to like blackmail him to get him to flip. She was like, cause who knows, like how long before it be one of us that ends up like Whitman. So it's like a short little pause. And they look, Saxon and Blanca looking down, and they toast. They was like, to fucking Whitman. To fucking Whitman. So I'm just like, so apparently they can't use the, well, yeah, I don't think, yeah, like Sax said a couple of episodes back, Davis, that, what they got on Davis as far as his brother taking him committing a crime that his brother took, like, they said, Sax said they don't think that's enough to make Davis flip on Monet and Tariq, so. Yeah. So I guess Jenny trying to get him to find something else on Davis. So Kane, he meets up with Lorenzo. He tells Lorenzo, like, I think Monet knows something. So Lorenzo, like, what makes you say that? What makes you think that? So Kane was like, I don't know what makes me think that, but at the same time, she knows now that IG didn't do it. So Lorenzo gets to this. She suspect me? So I was like, damn, okay. You think that she suspects you? Like, that's weird. So Kane was like, I don't know how she could because I'm the only one to know it. And, like, I ain't say shit. So Lorenzo was like, I don't know. You never know. Like, because, Monet don't never show her hand. So that's when Kane was like, you ever thought about just like telling her? He was like, it was an accident, wasn't it? Lorenzo was like, yeah, it was an accident. He's like, but I can't, like, he's like, she'll never forgive me. Yeah, he was like, she'll never forgive him. Kane was like, well, your best bet is to, like, tell her now before because she figuring stuff out on her own. And, like, you don't want her to find out from somebody else, so it's better to be finding out from you. Which is true, but... So Lorenzo like, you really think it's going to make a difference? And Kane was like, yeah, I do. And Lorenzo was like, nah, I don't think it is. So Lorenzo on the fence, but Kane is right. If you find out from somebody else and you still standing in her face telling her you love her, she your queen and all that, that's going to be bad for you, Lorenzo. It's already bad for you. So Drew and his little play cousin, Gordo, so they fucking. They getting it in. So I guess Gordo changed his mind, talking about want to keep it strictly business. And Drew saved his life when they was shooting at the rednecks or whatever. So speaking of the rednecks, after they just finished doing it, Gordo gets a text message. So he trying to be super vague about it. Drew asking like, what is it? What's wrong? So he was like, I don't even... So first he tries not to tell Drew. So Drew like, nah, what's going on? So he tells him that the CI... I said the CI. Well, yeah, he tells him that the dude that they shot in the back was a CI. And he getting transported somewhere close by. So Drew get the, oh man. Gordo was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. Fucking throat. So in this moment, Gordo thinking Drew's getting mad because he got to handle something like... So Gordo like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. Drew's like, nah, so what you expect me to believe that that redneck that you was locked up with wasn't... You didn't know he was a CI? So apparently it was the dude that Gordo was locked up with. Something like that. So he's like, you expect me to believe that redneck nigga you was locked up with, you didn't know he was a CI? So Gordo was like, nah, I ain't no fucking snitch. Like, nah, do you really think I would even went to help y'all, killed him and all that, even went to the jump if I knew he was a CI and it was a setup? He was like, plus, if I was a snitch, like, do you think I would even be saying anything to you right now? So that's when Drew get the, he's like, so I said, what we gonna do? So Gordo was like, nah, don't worry about it. This my mess to clean up. I got it. So Drew was like, nah, if he a CI and he was in, and I got this deal going, like, I'm involved already. So he was like, so what's the plan? What we doing? So then we get to see Monet. She goes to Gordo's mom, who is Frank's wife, Frank Castillo. And her name's Evelyn. Remember when Gordo was talking to Drew at the penthouse, and then Lorenzo showed up and he was like, give Evelyn my love. So she goes to see Evelyn. So Evelyn's like, what you doing here? Like, I heard about the break-in. So Monet was like, I'm not even here for that. So Monet gets to, she was like, in our lives, you get so used to people dying. You stop loving as much so it can hurt less. She was like, she felt like when Zeke died, a part of her died too. So Evelyn was like, why you telling me all this? So Monet was like, cause she been thinking about her. So I've been thinking about you, and she's like, this must have been how you felt when Frank went missing. This, that, and the third. And Evelyn gets to, yeah, it's true. Like, she was like, she just wished she knew what happened to him so she could find some peace. That's what Evelyn says. Like, I wish I knew what happened to him so I could find some peace. So Monet gets to, I know what happened to him. So I'm like, oh, shit, like, she ain't even got no solid proof on Lorenzo besides that little half partial fingerprint she found. And Kane telling her that Lorenzo was basically the one that told him and all that, gaslighted it. And the fact that IG was where he said he was. I mean, she got these little, she do got these little, and her mind's made up, basically. So I'm like, damn, she willing to turn on her dude? on her kid's father. So I'm just like, it's crazy. But she tell him like, yeah, I know what happened to him. I know what happened to Frank. So Evelyn gets to, that's not what you said before. You said you didn't know anything. So Monet gets to, yeah, I know I said that, but I feel like now you deserve to know the truth. So she tells her that Lorenzo put a hit out on Frank after he found out he was a snitch. So Evelyn gets to, oh my God, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe this. She holds her head down like, huh. So she gets to, what you trying to clear your conscience right now? Like, it's like, I'm the wrong one, boo-boo. So Monet was like, nah, I just figured you would find out eventually. And she's like, Monet was like, I already lost one child, and I don't want the other ones to be getting retaliation on for something that they didn't do. Is that what she said? Yeah, she said she already lost one child. She didn't want this to come back on the others. Yeah, she don't want them to come back on the other ones. She said she thought Evelyn should know who's responsible. Yeah, I put his Monet low key setting Lorenzo up in this moment. And it seemed, well, yes. Huh. So Evelyn ain't buying it. She like, why would you give up such a valuable piece of capital enough to change your family forever and things like that? Like, why would you give up such valuable information? Why would you betray your own husband type stuff? So Monet's like, my family already changed forever. Already been changed forever. Like, I can't stop, and I can't stop you from doing what you got to do. I can't stop. You got to do what you got to do. I feel you. I got you. I mean, I hear you. If you got to do what you got to do. So I'm just like, she don't care at this moment. So Evelyn gets to, what happens if you hear that one of my sons or one of us got, we got Lorenzo. We snatched him up. So Monet gets that. I know the consequences of me sitting here telling you this. She's like, but after Zeke, I just can't deal. I can't take the lies anymore. Truth got to come out. I'm just like, oh man, that's crazy. So Evelyn says in this moment, which I knew was bullshit, but she gets the, I loved Frank, but I love my boys even more. And I just can't lose them to revenge. So she basically saying, like, I'm not even about to retaliate. Because, I care about my kids too much. I ain't trying to lose them after I just lost Frank, all that. So, and I think she low-key just trying to make it seem like she ain't going to retaliate. I don't know, whatever. So Monet was like, you going to be able to live with that? And Evelyn was like, I'm going to have to. So Monet get you better than me. They're still trying to, like, I'm just like, wow. So after all of that, Monet gets to, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the outcome of what happens, I don't want anybody to know about this conversation that we had. She's like, can you trust me? Can I trust you? And Evelyn was like, just about as much as I can trust you. About as much as you can trust me. I was like, okay, I ain't lying. You come randomly to her with this shoes. About as much as you can trust me. You hear me? So now, this scene was wild. So RSJ and Tariq and Kiki and Braden, they all sitting down with the Italians. So RSJ, he trying to pitch them. He's like, if you want to expand, the best way is with Westing Holdings. Come invest with us. So the Italian dude, it's an Italian dude and it's an Italian woman there. Oh, excuse me. So they get in order to give 10%. Shoot, we're gonna need the interest and the commitment to be spoken in a language that we all can understand, like basically like cash money. And he says he's like cash. So then his associate, the woman, she says something in French. So that's why Tariq's there. We got Tariq there. So he says, she said put your money where your mouth is. So RSJ like, oh, okay. So RSJ gets first we need to address something. No, he's like, first we need to address something that you guys have been hiding. So the Italian dude the Italians get the hiding. We aren't hiding anything. So RSJ gets to talking about, like, I know you guys been having problems with the debut of your U.S. patent. So the Italians looking like how the hell they get this info? So Tariq comes in, he's like, and without that patent, your company don't even cost the plane fuel it took for us to get here. I was just like, basically saying without that patent, without that patent that their company is trash. Like, it ain't worth nothing. So RSJ gets to, I can make it all go away by legitimizing them in the field and boosting their stock value, this, that, and the third. So Tariq gets to, well, that sounds more like an investment. I mean, that sounds more than an investment to me. He's like, sounds like a partnership. So Kiki gets the, yeah, sounds like 20% ownership to me. And it sounds like we're going to be getting a little decrease on that, what was it? What'd she say? What'd she say exactly? Oh, yeah, significant deduction in that cash offer that that you was just talking about. He was like cash money, the Italian dude. So they get a deduction in that, and they getting 20% ownership of the company. Tariq did that, okay? So they was like, yeah, you got to the end of business day today to accept our offer. He was like, I can make your little patent issues go away by Monday. I don't really remember if they said what day it was that they was having this meeting, but he was like, I can make that patent shit disappear by Monday. So I was like, damn, Tariq is that nigga. Like, that wasn't even RSJ. RSJ might have been spearheading that meeting, but that was all Tariq, baby. That was all Tariq. Where did he get that information from? Oh, he got it from... Wait. Oh, I'm glad I ain't say it. But that was still Tariq, but yeah. So we get this quick little thing. So mind you, Drew was like, what we gonna do about this CI situation? So Gordo and Drew, they pop up at the hospital that the CI is supposed to be like he's supposed to be at. They masked up, which is weird, because I'm like, don't nobody notice they look weird coming in there with these ski masks on? But whatever. So Gordo telling Drew, like, the plan basically is just like, get to him, kill him before he can identify them. Maybe possibly take anything incriminating, whatever. So then they get to the floor that they think, I don't know, how did they even know the floor he was on? I don't know. How did they get this info? I guess Gordo has, like, somebody on the inside he gets the info from. So they get to the floor, and it's flooded with DEA agents, flooded with feds. I don't know. I guess I'm assuming it's DEA. Whatever. So they get the, oh, damn, maybe it's too late, they saying to each other, Drew and Gordo. So now, even though I said, yeah, Tariq did that on the in the meeting. So apparently he got this information from Effie. So I was like, okay, shoot, this was Big Effie that got this info. So he telling Effie, man, you should have seen the look on their face when we brought up the patent. He was like, man, thanks for that tip. And Effie was like, nah, this was all you. Like, she was like, just make sure you remember me when the millions start rolling in. So Tariq was like, oh, I ain't gonna forget my people. They laughing about that. So Effie, she's still like in Marvel. She's like, man, I can't believe we in Italy. She's like, it took for us to come to Italy to have our first date. So Tariq was like, this is our first date? Effie was like, yep. Tariq was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, we always got so much stuff going on back home. We don't never get the chance to, like, to sit down and breathe. And Effie was like, I can't even remember last time I sat down and took a breath. So they just talking about that. And Tariq was like, well, you handled it pretty well. He was like, and I'm having so much fun out here with you. This, that, and the third. He telling her this. They started talking about, like, what you gonna put on for the opera. And Effie was like, I got me some options out here, honey. They started talking about that. But then Tariq was like, well, I think we should, like, stay in. I'm cook you something, this, that, and the third. And Effie was like, well, that's corny. We in Italy. Tariq was like, what's corny about that? Like, what's corny about wanting to stay and cook for who I love? I think he said love. I don't remember. He's like, what's just wanting to stay in. He's like, what's wrong with wanting to be safe inside with your loved ones, not have to worry about the bullshit in the world, this, that, and the third. So Effie was like, is this the future Tariq talking? And he was like, no, I'm just saying, like, we ain't gonna have to hold our breath forever. He's like, we're going to get out of this shit and have a normal life. He's telling her all this. And I'm like, okay. Sound good. He was like, how that sound? Right before Effie could even answer, fucking no. I've been waiting. I was like, where is Noma? Noma been gone these like 2-3 episodes. So I was like, I think we only had Noma the first episode, the premiere. But yeah, I was like, where is Noma? It's just been her little henchman. So Noma pops up with her little henchman, little British dude. So they walk up on him. They're like, fancy meeting you two here. So that completely throws Tariq and Effie off. And then I'm like, where's RSJ in this moment? He just randomly wasn't there. But then again, Brayden and Kiki wasn't there too, so yeah. So she's like, fancy meeting you guys here. So Tariq is like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? What are you doing here? So Noma was like, I heard that my two of my little workers were flying private to Milan, and it piqued my interest when I found out who the plane was owned by. So Tariq gets to telling them like, look, RSJ don't know nothing about our business. You ain't got nothing to worry about, this, that, and the third. So Noma was like, oh yeah, I know that. She was like, I'm actually here because, so she gets to telling them like, she wants them to retrieve like this bug that Mecca planted. And she was like, well, he can't retrieve it now because he's dead. And the henchman chimes in and was like, and they still haven't found anybody, they still haven't found a killer regarding, still haven't made an arrest regarding to Mecca. So they ask, so Noma gets to ask, and Tariq and Effie's like, have y'all heard anything? Have y'all still haven't heard anything about Mecca? So they both like, nope. Like, nope, we ain't heard nothing. Everybody gonna be after Monet in the end. Shit. Noma found out Monet killed Mecca. Shit. And when Blanca, Jenny, and Sax come to actually get proof that she killed Whitman. Shit, and Carrie maybe. But yeah, everybody after Monet. So they like, nope, we still don't know about nothing about Mecca dying, whatever. Who killed Mecca? So they get to telling what they say. So Effie ain't trying to hit the bull. She's like, can't y'all just intercept this little listening device? She was like, I can definitely help y'all find a way to transmit it, this, that, and the third. They was like, we already know where it is. So Noma tells them that it's located at her ex's place, who was apparently like one of her biggest competitors in the arms dealing business or whatever. So she was like, he took all her clientele after she broke up with him or something like that. So that's when Effie was like, sounds personal, and Noma was like, it is. She was like, so you should know exactly how important it is that you succeed, right? Like, still trying to make sure they on their toes. Like, she ain't playing with them. So Tariq was like, so how we supposed to get in there? So the henchman, he starts telling them, like, Noma's ex, he like this big he like an artsy dude or whatever, and like he hosts these little private events like once a week. And they exclusive. It's like only exclusive few get in. So Noma was like, yeah, even my people can't get in there or whatever. So that's when they was like, but you know who can get in? Tariq was like, oh, RSJ. Henchman was like, I told you he was smart, whatever, something. So they tell him, like, you got to get this bug without him even knowing. So his name is Francesco, or his name Lombardi. That might be his whole name, Francesco Lombardi, or Lombardi Francesco, something like that. Because every now and again they'll call him Lombardi, or every now and again they'll call him Francesco. So they was like, you got to get that bug without Francesco knowing. She was like, the how is completely up to y'all. She was like, you know, of course, if you fail, there will be consequences. I was just like, you know, they pissed. They pissed about that. She just popped up on them in fucking Italy. Crazy. So then we back at the hospital, and I don't know if it's a doctor or a nurse or whoever they is. They telling Blanca that the CI didn't make it. And Blanca was like, damn, I needed him. So they tell him, like, well, he did have a phone and some other belongings or whatever you can go pick up downstairs, upstairs, something like that. And mind you, when Drew and Gordo got to that floor and saw it was flooded with DEA, they, like, ran into some little room or some little stairwell, like, hiding, but they still listening, like, to see what's going on. So in this moment, they still listening and see what's going on. So they hear the dude tell Blanca that the CI didn't make it and that his belongings was somewhere down there or something like that. So they immediately go downstairs. So first I thought they paid the nurse for them belongings. But then they get the belongings. They leave out the hospital. Right as they leave out the door, Blanca's coming up. She come up, asked for the belongings. And the nurse was like, well, his family just came and got it. So apparently they must have told her that they was family members of him or something like that. So Blanca was like, that's impossible. Like, basically probably like he ain't had no family probably. So they get outside and Drew looking through the phone. And they see pictures of themselves. They like, this could have been bad or whatever. So they take the phone. They take all his belongings. They destroy him or whatever. They dump him down the sewer. So they got that. So they got rid of all of that. So they got lucky with that. And the CI didn't make it. So that drugs thing, that gun situation thing is handled. In my book, it's handled. Because none of the other ones survived, I don't think. I think they killed all of them but the CI. So if the CI dead and all his evidence is gone now, that's it. So, let's see. So I don't know how Tariq did it, but Tariq got RSJ at this dude's event. So RSJ telling him, like, Tariq, yeah, this is a good move coming here, whatever. Like, this, whatever. I don't know. The whole time Tariq just there to get the bug. So he starts to tell Tariq, like, he's been impressed with Tariq and he's been impressed with him lately. Then he starts to say, like, he said, what did he say? Damn. See, I told y'all I be stuttering and I be, whatever. So he says, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't familiar with your family, with your story and your father. So I was like, we knew this. Because the only reason he was connecting with Tariq was because Tariq had ownership of this building that he was trying to that RSJ was trying to knock down to build some type of mall or something like that. So we knew that you knew who he was and who his father was and all that. And you was in that meeting talking about what would the late James St. Patrick say about people like us pulling ourselves up from our bootstraps or whatever. So we knew you knew. Tariq knew. Tariq ain't dumb. And you know this. You just said you was impressed with him. Come on, RSJ. But anyway. So, he was like, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't familiar with your story and your father. So Tariq gets to, nobody really knew my father. And RSJ was like, well, it seems like he had two different faces, one public, one private. And Tariq was like, well, ain't we all that way? And so RSJ gets to telling them, what do you say? Oh, he gets to tell him about his father. He was like, my father ran numbers, but he was a petty crook. And everybody would tell him that he was going to end up like his father, things like that. He's like, but he didn't let their expectations, like, box him in. Because he feels like that's what Tariq is feeling like. He feeling like everybody telling him he's going to be like Ghost. And he trying not to be like Ghost, but he kind of is turning out like Ghost. So he telling him that, he's like, man, he was like, he didn't let those people's expectations box him in. He was like, I created my own route. He was like, I hope you would do the same thing, Tariq. Like, I hope you do the same thing. So then I think in this moment, Effie, like, signals Tariq to come over, like, with her head, because she in the background. I think. So they get to freaking out. I think this is Tariq and Effie, or is it Braden and Effie? Trying to figure out where would the bug even be at. Because they're like, this house big as shit. Like, where would it even be at? So Braden and Effie, they start searching or whatever. And Braden and dumbass get caught. Dude was like, what you doing in here, bodyguard? And Braden was like, So he snatched Braden little dumbass up, take him somewhere. Effie sees this, tries to go behind them, but the door that the bodyguard takes Braden through, like, locks behind them. So Effie, she can't. So she starts to keep looking for the bug or whatever. And voila, she finds it. She finds that junk super quick, grabs that junk quick, throws it in her purse, puts herself together like she about to walk out the room, and then another bodyguard comes in there. But luckily, he didn't see her do anything. So he like, he just like tell her, you can't be in here. So she gets the, what's she say? She's like, I won't tell if you won't. And so at first I thought she was like trying to flirt with him. Maybe she was. She's like, I won't tell if you won't. And she was like, she was talking about artwork and stuff, and said that, I was in here looking for, I heard Lombardi had a secret collection. Like, I was just in here snooping, looking for that. Trying to make it seem like she a big art buff, and she was in there snooping around for his collection. So he falling for her. He was like, this your first time here? And she was like, she's like, yeah. And he like, yeah, his private collection is right this way. So she grabbed his arm, and I was like, okay, Effie. I was like, Effie be doing it. Like, I ain't really trust Effie in the beginning. I don't know. still, like, but now I'm trusting Effie more. It's probably like, I would say, let's see, like, I give her 80-20. Let's do 80-20. So Diana is back allowed in the house. You know, she done lied for Monet. They done did this whole thing with Whitman. So, of course, Monet's letting her back in the house. And plus, the story got to look solid. Like, they a big, happy family. So, they at the dinner table, all of them together. Kane telling Diana, I'm glad you're back. And Diana, like, it's good to be back. I miss Poppy's cooking or whatever. And Lorenzo gets I cooked this special for, Monet. You know, it's cold outside. And something like that. Says something like that. And he was like, right, baby. And he looks to Monet for, like, confirmation. Monet don't say nothing. Hella awkward. Kane noticing it, too. So Kane starts to talk. He's like, you know what this food reminds me of? He's like, reminds me of back when we was in Puerto Rico as kids, and if somebody lost the spades game or something like that, they would have to serve the food to the loser. This, that, and the third. And Kane was like, remember that? And Drew was like, nah, I don't think I remember that because, like, me and my partner never lost. And Monet was like, okay, damn right. So her and Drew give, like, a little fist bump because apparently they were spades partners. So Kane was like, I think you need to get that shoulder injury. I think that shoulder injury went to your head because I don't remember that. They started trash talk or whatever. And Diana can't really speak on it. So Lorenzo notices this. He like, come talk to me in the kitchen. He like head nods Diana to come talk to him in the kitchen. So they go in the kitchen. Lorenzo like, what's wrong? Everything okay? And she's like, yeah, just like I don't have the same memories that they have because I'm younger than them, and all my memories of you have been like in Sing Sing in jail. So Lorenzo was like, well, we creating new memories now, and like, yeah, we creating new memories now. And she was like, are we like, what she say? She was like, yeah, are we creating new memories? And she was like, I feel like it's the first time we ever talked about something other than business. Where am I? This stuff be so close together. I got an eye appointment to get some glasses on Monday, but I'm probably going to have to reschedule it because of funds. Because I don't get paid till 2 days after my eye exam, and I got to pay out of pocket for that. So I'm going to probably have to postpone it for the next week. But I'm getting glasses soon, guys, because I know I'll be on this jump squinting. Where am I? Where am I? Yeah, but let me finish this. I'm catching the Metro, so don't even worry about it. Alright, don't worry about it. Stop talking, please. My bad. So, where am I? Now I gotta find where I was again. Where am I? Oh, yeah, so she was like, I feel like this is the first time that we've been talking about something other than business. And she was like, and speaking of business, like, I think me selling at my job is like drawing too much attention to my boss. Drawing too much attention from my boss at work. And Lorenzo gets to, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I brought you back into this situation and you was trying to get out of this life and you had a little taste of freedom and I ruined it, this, that, and the third. So he gets to talking about how he knows what that's like, and Diana's like, you do? So that's at this moment I'm realizing it's supposed to be like a little father-daughter moment. So she was like, you do? He was like, yeah, what you thought I just wanted to sell drugs all my life? He was like, nope, I wanted to play baseball. And she was like, for real? She was like, what happened? So he get the, cards didn't play out the way in my favor. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Where am I now? Say it wasn't in the cards. He was like, but you know what? He was like, I'm pulling the plug. He was like, I'm going to tell Kane we got to sell somewhere else. He was like, you're going to be the first member of this family to get a college degree. You're going to go to college, and that's all I want you to focus about. So she gets to, really, Dad? That little moment. I'm just like, not good. It's not a good enough acting. Like I said, I said Monet was like the worst actress on this show. And then after I said it would be Diana. No, it was Zeke. After Monet, it was Zeke. And then, no, Zeke might have been first. It might have been Zeke, then Monet, then Diana. But Diana in there. She in that category. So she gets to, really, Dad? Thank you so much. And hugs him or whatever. So now Lombardi's, man, they got Braden tied up. They torturing him or whatever. He naked with some boxer briefs on. They got him tied to a chair. And Braden Jai ripped. Like, he always be wearing clothes and stuff. I mean, of course, he always be wearing clothes. But, like, he ain't got no clothes on in this scene except for, like, some boxer briefs. But that nigga, like, real life cut up. Like, he real big. Like, top heavy. He real, like, ripped up. Okay, Gianni, I see you. That's a real name. Gianni Piovali or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But I was like, I put Braden hella ripped. But yeah, I was like, damn, Braden ripped up. But yeah, they got him tied to a chair, whatever. They he's yelling at him. He's like, well, I'm telling y'all, like, I'm a Weston. I ain't take nothing from y'all. Just look my family up. I was just here for the party, just in the third. So Lombardi appears and he was like, oh yeah, I did my research on your family. He was like, but I also noticed you just admitted like in open court to being a known drug dealer, and I find it suspicious that now you in my house snooping around and stuff. He's like, wouldn't you find that suspicious or whatever? So Braden gets to like, look, man, you have it all wrong. So Lombardi get to like, who you working for? Like, who you working for? So Braden don't really say nothing. So he tells him, man, he signals him like, go ahead, keep fucking him up. They start punching Braden more in the chest, stomach, all that. So I'm like, damn, Braden always getting into some shit. And then I'm like, damn, is this about to be the end for Braden? I'm like, how do the Italians roll? But yeah. So Tariq steady calling Braden while Effie's right there telling him, she's like, I told you they got him. Like, what are you calling him for? Tariq tells him, this nigga ain't answering. Like, Effie's like, I told you they have him. So they get a knock at the door and it's Kiki. So Kiki looking for Braden. She's like, you guys seen Braden? So Tariq was like, nah, he's still at the Lombardi house. So Kiki was like, didn't you guys leave from leave from there like an hour ago? He shouldn't be there. So Effie was like, well, that's where we left him at. She was like, I'm sure he'll be back during appropriate coworker times. I mean, appropriate coworker hours. Like, Loki tried to throw shade at Kiki. Because, like, basically, like, why you looking for him this late in the hour, bitch? It ain't work hours. You don't want to tell him it was business, so why you looking for him? Basically, that's what I got from what Effie said. So she was like, maybe he'll be back around the more appropriate coworker hours. So Kiki was like, yeah, sure, maybe. She was like, I'll see you guys tomorrow at in the lobby, right? The three of you. They was like, yeah. I was just like, that. Effie was shady as hell. So now Tariq and Effie, they trying to figure out what they gonna do about Braden. So Tariq was like, well, we're gonna have to do the only thing we can do. They like, the only leverage we got against Lombardi, we're gonna have to use it. So I was like, oh snap, they about to get so I'm thinking like, oh snap, they about to real life get a bug to Lombardi for Braden. What's that gonna do with their situation with Noma? Because Noma wanted the bug. So they pull out the bug, like, we're gonna have to use this as leverage. So Monet sitting out front of her place, drinking a glass of wine or whatever. I guess it's right after they had dinner. And Gordo walks up and he's like, what's up, auntie? Like, you ain't cold out here? She got the wine on. This is what keeps me warm. Gordo was like, oh yeah, that's a good, he said something, I don't know. A good fix. Keep you warm, whatever. So he gets to talking about, like, I'm sorry I ain't make it to Zeke's funeral. I've been meaning to tell you, but I ain't never get a chance to have you alone or whatever. He was like, I hope it's not too late. And she was like, nah. And he was like things got worse for him the first few months after his dad died too. And Monet was like, I didn't think it could get any worse, but it does. And she was like, who you here to see, Drew? Gordo make a little face. She was like, you better be careful with my son. And Gordo was like, or else, right? She was like, damn right. He was like, facts, yeah. He's like, I got you. So he starts to walk into the house, and she was like, when does it get better? Like, when does it feel better? And she was like, the grief. So Gordo was like, I don't know. Like, he was like, it's diluted at times, but it's always there. So Monet was like, does the anger ever go away? And Gordo was like, man, for me, it doesn't. Like, he was like, I wish I could. He was like, I wish I could slit the throat of the dude that killed my father. Monet was like, yeah, me too, but for Zeke. She was like, for Zeke. I was like, ah. So Gordo still, even if he finds out it's Lorenzo, it's over for him. So Davis, he looking over dumbass. He still has his copies of Whitman's files that they took from Whitman's apartment. So he still has his copies. So he looking over them. Sachs comes running in there. He tosses them in his, Davis tosses them in his little lock drawer to the side. Sachs coming in and say that he says he found a constitutional violation in Rollins and Davis's brother's redacted file. He says that they could file a writ of habeas corpus. How the fuck you pronounce that shit? He said they could file a writ of habeas corpus and get Rollins out of jail. And Davis was like, for real? And Sachs was like, yeah, the prosecution, they misstepped, and that's a misstep of judgment, whatever. And Davis was like, see, he was like, this may be the closest that we have gotten in this case. And he was like, I knew having you around would pay off, this and the third. He was like, let's go tell him in person. So they started to head out, and Sachs was like, well, you know what? I got a lot of debriefing to go do. Why don't you go tell him? And Davis was like, well, you don't want to go. And Sachs was like, this your thing. It's your brother. Like, plus he can't go anywhere without me doing the paperwork. So maybe I should get started on that too. And Davis was like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. So he was like, okay. So Davis leaves. Sachs goes straight to Davis' office. Starts searching for stuff. Finds the little key. I guess Davis didn't have time to put the key up because Sachs startled him. So the key right under his papers and stuff. He takes the key. Sachs takes the key, open up the little drawer that Davis had hurried up and closed when Sachs came in it. Made it look so hot. I'm like, maybe if you'd have just left the shit on the table, I mean, he still would have seen it, but I don't know. Maybe it would have been less hot. Or at least hid the key. Took the key with you or something. I don't know. But Sachs comes in there. He opens up the drawer. He finds the file. And he's like, oh, my God, Davis. So he takes pictures of the documents. Where am I? Yeah, so he immediately texts Jenny and tells her, oh yeah, we need to meet because Davis got some of Whitman's files that he ain't supposed to have, basically. And she was like, I can't meet right now. So Sachs, he irritated because she always somehow she can't meet or whatever. But I was in this moment like, stupid ass Davis. You told Monet that it was smart of her to get rid of Whitman's documents, but you didn't get rid of your own because you thought it was sweet. He thought it was sweet for himself. So now now they got your dumb ass. So Tariq and Effie, they meet with Lombardi and his men to make the trade with Braden and the listening device. So Tariq telling Lombardi, like, nah, I need my friend first. Like, Braden first, and then you get the bug. So they let Braden go. So I was like, okay, Braden lives. Maybe. Because I was like, they could still just shoot his ass real quick. But I was like, okay, they let Braden go. So as Tariq hands Lombardi the bug, Lombardi, grabs his arm and, twists it. And then all his men start pointing their guns at Effie and Braden. And Lombardi pulls out the gun, pointing it at Tariq's head. So he starts to ask Tariq, who you working for? He's like, is it Mecca? Is Mecca still alive? And Tariq ain't saying nothing. He's holding the gun to Tariq's head and looking like he about to pull the trigger. Right when he about to pull the trigger, Lombardi gets shot in the head. His men start getting shot in the head. Noma and her little henchmen come out of nowhere. They saved the day or whatever. And I ain't gonna hold you. 1% of me, 1% of it looked like 1 out of 100% looked like Tariq was about to tell him for his life. Looked like he was about to tell Lombardi. So Noma and them came out right on time. Tariq was like, it took y'all long enough. Noma was like, calm down. I wasn't gonna let them hurt you. Saying it sarcastically. But Loki was like, was Noma waiting to see if Tariq was gonna say anything and then took her shot? Maybe, I don't know, cause she hear from how far she was. I don't know. So they get this was a smart plan to draw Lombardi out so I could take him out. Basically, so Tariq gives her the bug. So now we know Tariq and them must have hit Noma and them up and was like, yeah, he got Braden, so it's the perfect time. Probably didn't even say the Braden thing. I don't know, but they did something to make Noma come out and kill Lombardi just to get Braden back. So she grabbed Tariq's face like he a child, which he's still like 19, whatever. So she was like, you're a much more clever boy than I thought you were. And I gave you credit for. She was like, consider our trial period over. So the henchman in the background like, oh my God. So she like, consider our trial period over. She was like, what'd she say? She said, since I'm going to be taking over Lombardi's business now, look down there, he on the ground dead. Since I'm going to be taking over his business now, there's going to be plenty of business to go around. And Effie rolling her eyes too. She like, oh my God. Because you know, Effie trying to get out of this bullshit. So she was like, I think your team has a bright and long future with me. And Tariq's super pissed off about it. So Saxy's following. He's tailing Jenny now because Jenny said she couldn't meet up right now, whatever. He trying to figure out what's going on with her. He thinks she cheating, but she telling him they're not even in a relationship for her to cheat. So it's just like Sax just geeking. I don't know. I mean, I get it. He risking his career and all that. He playing double agent, all that stuff. He's CIing for her, whatever. So he calls her and watches her as she declines his call. So he's like, where are you going, Jenny? So she hops in her car. So I'm just like, oh, so we know he about to follow her. So after this situation that happened with Noma and Lombardi and all that, Tariq's super pissed. And every right to be, because now Noma wants to work with them full time and all that. Effie ain't feeling the neither, but she like, man, look, at least we making it out of Italy alive, shoot. Because if it would have went bad, we would have all been dead. So Tariq was like, yeah, I know, but now, like, now Noma owns us forever. So Effie was like, nah, I wouldn't be so sure about that. So I was like, oh, snap. I was like, oh, what's going on? So she was like, I think I got a way out. So Tariq was like, how? So remember, the bodyguard showed Effie Lombardi's secret little collection. And remember that Lombardi and Noma used to date or whatever. So she shows Tariq this picture. And she was like, remember, Noma said that Lombardi was her ex. So she was like, apparently they had a child together. So it's a picture of Noma, Lombardi, and their child. So she was like, we just got to find the child and use her as leverage for our freedom. So I was like, okay, Effie just been doing the damn thing. From the info about the Italians and the patent situation to the convincing the bodyguard that she was just there looking for the secret collection or whatever. I was just like, Effie just doing the damn thing. So she tells Tariq this, like, we use the child, leverages our freedom. And then Tariq was like, well, that means that she just killed her baby's daddy. She just killed her child's father. Tariq was like, Effie was like, yeah, what that mean? So Tariq was like, what you mean? That mean that bitch is a savage. Like, that mean we got to be more careful. And then RSJ walks up. They immediately stop talking. Like, yeah, let's go. I was like, all this stuff happened and they don't even know. Like, shootouts and all that, and RSJ just don't even know. RSJ and Kiki just unaware. So then, let's see. So Lorenzo, he coming up to Monet, you know, just trying to comfort her or whatever. So he like, what's wrong? So she just like, I just find it funny how when Whitman died, they was all running through our house and questioning the hell out of Diana and all that. But when Zeke died, they just chalked it up as like gang activity, this, that, and the third. So in this moment, I was surprised. So Lorenzo was like, I got something to tell you. So he was like, I need you to look at me. Because she wasn't looking at him. Because she still feel betrayed by him or whatever. So he was like, I made a big mistake. So Monet was like, what mistake? Because Monet already know. So she probably surprised that he telling her too. But you know Monet has no face expressions because Monet can't act. So she like, what mistake? So Lorenzo was like, well, that night he was like, that night he went to see Mecca. At the hangar. He said, that night I went to go see Mecca at the hangar. And Monet was like, you wasn't supposed to be at the hangar. And Lorenzo was like, I know, but he was like, but you didn't show up. So he thought that Mecca took her. He was like, you didn't show up, so I thought Mecca took you. So she was like, you didn't trust me? Like, you thought I was going to leave with that motherfucker? You thought I was going to leave with him? Lorenzo was like, man, I didn't know what I thought. I mean, I just knew that I just couldn't let Mecca do. No, he was like, I just know I wanted to kill Mecca for what he did to my family, this, that, and the third. Then he gets to telling her, I thought I was shooting Mecca, but it was Zeke that I shot. Started talking about he ain't mean to hurt her, this, that, and the third. He could say it was an accident. So she socked him in the face like a fucking accident. She started beating the shit out of him. She was like, but you know what wasn't an accident, though? She was like, you waiting all this time to tell me, watching me lose my mind, watching me not be able to sleep, going through all this stuff about Zeke and all that, while you just sat there and ain't tell me nothing. So then Monet so then Lorenzo you put Zeke in his life and he wasn't prepared. You put Zeke in his life unprepared, and then you went and fucked Mecca and what do you say? You went and fucked Mecca and brought him back into our lives and this, that, and the third. So then Monet get this, so it's my fault. And then Lorenzo gets like, no, it's both of our fault. Like, we both to blame, this, that, and the third. Monet started hitting him more. He get to saying like we both done terrible things. He gets to like we both done terrible things, and then he was like what do you say? Forgive him. He was like, yeah, they both done terrible things, but if she loved him, she could forgive him or whatever. And she looking like, hell no. She was like, love you? She said, I fucking hate you. You shot my son. She was like, I can't even look at you the same. So Lorenzo was like, well, like, what about what we built? What about our family? So Monet was like, out of respect for our kids, I'm not gonna put a bullet in you. I'm not gonna put a bullet in your brain right now. She's like, but you need to get the hell out of my house. You need to get the fuck out of New York for that matter. So she was like, I'm gonna tell the kids we separated or something like that. She's like, but your ass gotta go. So he steady trying to plead. She throws something at her. She's like, no, go. She throws something at her. She's like, go. So I was like, damn. So I was like, well, at least she not gonna kill him. But mind you, she went to Evelyn early in the episode. So Sax, remember, he was tailing Jenny. He tails her to the house where she's keeping Lauren at. So he sees her go so Sax sees Lauren go into this house. And he sees like it's an officer out front, like guarding the house. So he walks up, tries to like, yeah, Jenny's expecting me and whatever. We have a briefing to do, something like that. And the officer was like, where's your badge or something like that. So Sax starts to look. He was like, oh, yeah, I haven't found it. So then Jenny finally comes out. She's like, Sax, what the hell are you doing here? Like, did you follow me? And Sax asks, like, what are you doing here? Like, he's like, what is this place? Why is it a guard out front, whatever? So he was like, I'm risking my career for you. And he was like, even though he knows Tariq ain't had nothing to do with Lauren's death, he's still helping her and all this other stuff. So at this point, he was like, if you don't tell me what's going on right now, like, I'm done. So Jenny was like, shit, I can have somebody remove you. So Sax was like, what is this? What was this? What do you say? See, I be stuttering like shit. He was like, what was this for you? Like, he was like, did you feel anything? He's like, because I did. He was like, you used me just like you did Lauren when she was alive. And then by this point, Lauren's like by the door listening. I don't know if she heard the thing about Sax saying that even though Tariq didn't know nothing about her death or whatever. But by this point, she's by the front door listening. Jenny was like, I don't care about like none of this. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be putting some drug dealers and murderers away, and that's all I care about. So Sax was like, but we like that's the point. We on the same team. So why won't you just tell me like what's going on? Who's in that house? Like, why is it a guard out front? Who you protecting or whatever? Who's she hiding? What she's hiding? He was like, I'm gonna ask you one last time, who's in the house? So then Lauren comes out, and Sax don't even look like super surprised. He just looked like really. Like, oh my God. Like he ain't even shocked that Lauren's alive. He just like, oh really? Like, oh wow. That's his face expression, like, wow. So Lauren comes out and he's like, what'd he say? He asks, what'd he say? Yeah, I put Sax low key not surprised. He says, dang, so you let me believe that Lauren was dead. He said, you betrayed me and manipulated me and Lauren. So he was like, you know what? I'm done. He was like, I'm done. So Lauren get there. What are you talking? What is Sax talking about, Lauren? I mean, Jenny. Lauren gets to, what is Sax talking about, Jenny? She's like, is it true? Like, is it true? So Jenny tries to tell Lauren, like, let's go back inside, She was like, no, I want the truth. She's like, I heard Sax say that Tariq had nothing to do with my murder, this, that, and the third. And she was like, I told you it was Effie. So Jenny get there, and it was Brayden, and it was the Tejadas, and it was Tariq. Just go back inside. So Sax is Sax getting pulled away, and he's telling Lauren, he's like, Lauren, Tariq had nothing to do with your murder. Like, you should have seen his face when he found out you were dead. That boy actually loved you, this, that, and the third. So Lauren looks super mad at Jenny. She storms back into the house, Jenny running up behind her, like, Lauren. So I was just like, this whole scene, I was just like, okay. So Tejadas, they sitting down, about to have like a little game night. They spoke about Kane talked about them playing spades or whatever in Puerto Rico when they was kids. So they creating some memories, having a little game night. Kane like, where my partner at? Kane like, where my partner at? And Diana like, yeah, where's Poppy, whatever. Monet like, probably, I don't know, he probably running late or something. She's like, we do need to talk to y'all about something. And Kane makes a little face. So I'm thinking, Kane probably thinking it's about the Zeke situation. So Tariq, he gets a text message in the middle of the night. Him and Effie, they sleep. He gets a text message. And it's telling him to come meet by the campus gate. So at this moment, I'm thinking automatically that it is Lauren, but at the end of the day, it's Tariq. It could be anybody. But it is Lauren. So it's Lauren. She got a little box cutter. She holding it up. He and Shy like, what are you doing here? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, what's going on? So she's like, why you do it, Tariq? Why'd you set me up to get murdered? Why'd you want me? No, she's like, why'd you want me dead? So Tariq was like, what are you talking about? Like, I ain't never want you dead, whatever. So she was like, I just don't know what to believe anymore. She was like, why would you let Brayden give me to her or whatever? And Tariq was like, who? What are you talking about? So she gets the Effie, like, that bitch took me from Brayden and drugged me and left me in a car in a river or whatever. So Tariq was like, shit, like, oh my God, like, he was like, I had no idea, trying to come closer, and she holds up the box cutter like a little more, whatever. So she was like, how am I supposed to believe that you didn't have nothing to do with whatever? He was like, because I care about you. Why do you think I sent you away with Brayden to get you out of this mess? He was like, I was trying to save you. He's like, I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. So at this point, Lauren's buying it. She buying it. So Tariq was like, they both been lying to me. I had no idea. He was like, you know what? I'm about to go talk to them right now. He tried to step off. You know that ain't happened. So Lauren's like, no, you can't tell them that I'm alive. So he was like, where have you been this whole time? So I'm thinking she about to lie to him. She tells him straight up. That's how I knew she believed what he said, what he just said when he was like, I care about you. I ain't want nothing to happen to you. I was saving you. So she tells him, she's like, I've been with the feds. They building the case against you. So he gets the damn. So she's like, and if what you saying is true, then me and the feds ain't all you need to be worried about. Basically telling him like he need to be worried about Brayden and Effie lying to him too. But I was like, that's the least of his worries. They just was lying to protect him and themselves. They was implicated more in them tapes than Tariq was. So yeah. So Tariq comes back in and Effie, she wakes up. She's like, you okay? And he was like, yeah, I just had to take a walk. Just need to take a walk. So then Effie gets to, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. But stuff been coming along and been getting in the way of me telling you. So I'm thinking like, oh, now she about to tell him about Lauren? So I'm like, okay, she about to tell him about Lauren. But the whole time she was like, Tariq was like, what's up? And she was like, I love you too. So I'm apparently, maybe Tariq said he loved her for the first time earlier in this episode or earlier in the season, and I missed it. Maybe I missed it, but she was like, I love you too. So, okay. She's not telling him about Lauren. I think at this point, Effie's not going to tell him. She told Kane she wasn't going to tell him. So, she told him, like, to keep the secret. So, I don't think she was going to tell him anyway. But in that moment, I was like, what else secret did she have to tell him? So, I thought in that moment she was. But, yeah. So, then we get this last scene with Lorenzo. He coming out of a bar somewhere, kind of a little tipsy. He going to his car. It's a nail in his tire. So he like, what the fuck? So he pulls the nail out and he goes to his trunk to get the spare or whatever. And as he like leans forwards to grab the spare, someone comes up. I'm going to say someone for right now because they don't reveal his face. Someone comes up and slits Lorenzo's throat like super quick, like less than a second, like real quick slice. So Lorenzo start holding his throat like super in shock, like, oh my God, like trying to, you know, what people do when they dying. So he starts to fall to the ground, whatever. So then Gordo walks up. It's Gordo that did it. He walks up. He cheesing. What'd he say? What'd he say when he walked up? He's standing over him. He wiping the blood off of the knife onto Lorenzo. He was like, oh yeah, he said, bleed, bitch, bleed for what you did to my father. And then he walks off. And he gets a text. No, he texts somebody. And I thought it might have been Evelyn or Monet. I thought for sure it was Evelyn or Monet. And then we see in that moment, it was Monet. And the text message says, done. Thank you. And then Monet just looking around at her kids like, damn, I just took their father away from them and they don't even know it. And the kids, they just smiling, continuing with the games. And I'm just like, damn, Monet. She just got rid of both of the men in her life. I'm just like, oh man, this is crazy. That makes me think though, is Kanan alive on this ghost jump? Maybe Kane didn't die. Or maybe Kanan is actually Kane's father. What if Kanan came back and actually like started dating Monet and was Kane's actual father? That'd be crazy as hell. But yeah, that was a nice little episode. Like I said, I graded an A- because Tariq finally knows that Lauren is alive. And Whitman's dead, and Monet's like top suspect. But it's like since we saw this play out as viewers and audience, we knew this, so it wasn't like surprise to us. That's why I give it that minus. But anyway, my predictions for episodes to come, shoot. Like Noma said, she owned them now. How they gonna find her daughter? That's crazy. Effie was on it, child. And then when they get the daughter, how they gonna play it? That's gonna be crazy. That's what I'm wondering. Davis and the Tiffy now, they got this damn evidence against his dumb ass. But Sax said he out, so is he even going to... Well, he did text Jenny and tell Jenny that Davis had these documents. Did he send Jenny the screenshots? Or is that why he wanted to show her in person? Is he going to give her the screenshots? I don't know. Now, because now he said he's done. He just found out Lauren alive, so... And how is Tariq going to play it with Effie and Braden now? Is he going to tell them that Lauren is alive? Or is he going to try to figure out what they did before he reveals it? But I don't know, man. Yeah, those are my predictions for episodes to come. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Please like the video. Hit the notification bell so you can know exactly when I'm posting stuff. Yeah, share this video. And, yeah, subscribe to my channel. Because, like I said, I do review other shows. And, yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.